This is the fourth generation in my family here.
Really?
Yep, I used to own it. I don't know, it's come from the Huey family, but I used to own this also.
You did?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yep, I owned it, but I'm right now, the land bank got it now, I think.
Oh, they do?
Yep.
Hey, you want to do a little interview? Give me a history on it?
Well, I'll do that.
Yeah, and you know what? I'll give you $10.
Thank you. I can use that.
All right.
I go to rallies.
Yeah, okay, that sounds good.
Okay.
So, could you stand right here in the shade?
Okay.
You got to stay 6 feet apart, you know that.
Right.
Yeah.
Where your mask at?
I got it in the van.
Okay.
Put yours on.
Right.
That way you can't give it to me, but you
right.
can still, yeah, okay.
Exactly.
So, I normally don't do this with a phone. Let me see, the light's a little shitty. Yeah, here's a little bit better. So, my name's Tom Reed.
My name is Al.
Al, and I'm down here in Saginaw, Michigan.
Okay. Where you from?
West Branch.
West Branch.
Now, I take these videos and I upload them to a YouTube channel. You okay with that?
Okay.
Okay, good. So, just lucky enough to meet this gentleman. I wanted to check these houses out here, and you were riding by on your bike.
Yes.
And you said something about a relationship with these homes. What is it?
It used to be. This is the fourth generation. My great grandmother, my grandmother, my mother, and me. Me and my sister was the last one that owned the home. She let it go. It's too much. It's too much of a problem. So she let it go. I wanted to get it back, but the land bank got it, and I left it alone.
You did.
I left it alone. Yeah.
Now, so you remember the good old days?
The very good old days when they used to dig all over here, and all over here they used to dig up bottles, antique Coca-Cola bottles, all kind of bottles. They used to dig them all up, and the guys was here last summer. They've been digging up in here for like 25 years.
Oh, they have?
25 years, yep.
Okay.
All retired construction workers, they done picked up bottles. That's all the way back to 1800s, because this used to be the, you know, when the wagon, the horses and everything, horses and buggies used to come through here.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right. Now,
is this your first time coming over here?
Oh, no, I come down here.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Now,
okay.
How old are you?
I'm at 61.
Wow, I'm older than you are.
Are you?
64.
64?
Yeah.
We still young.
Yeah, we are.
We still young.
So what type work did you do through the course of it?
I've been a teacher's aide, a cook, a painter, and a construction worker.
Oh, all that.
Yes, I done work for Elias Brothers. I used to work for Holy Rosie, the daycare center. I done painting in Savannah, Georgia, Dublin, Georgia, Pensacola, Florida. I done construction work in Mississippi. I'm originated from Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
Wow, interesting. Now, are you working now?
Now I'm retired now.
Oh, good for you. What do you think of this state of the economy and stuff?
I think it's kind of rough, and I think it'd be good as soon as they turn them down. You ain't got to have to worry about these different squatters in these homes. Sometimes I ride by, I'll see them in it, and I'll say, hey, what are you doing here? Yo, I'm just sitting or whatever, but I know sometimes people do not want to go, if they're homeless, they don't want to go to the shelters.
Okay.
They prefer to come in these homes, but they're better off going into the shelters. Mm-hmm. The shelter have more to offer you than these.
Yeah, but you know what they tell me?
Huh?
I do this in Detroit a lot. They tell me they lose their independence. They don't want to be turning off lights, going to bed, not having their friends visit. So
well, that's because a lot of people do not, they wouldn't accept responsibilities.
Is that what
you think? A lot of
it
it have, to me, that's what they have to do with it. You know, I guess they call it living on the land or however, but the best enjoyment is when you create it. And if you don't work for it, you're not creating nothing. You only get out what you put in life. But I do not knock what other people do, but if I can do it, they can do it.
Yep.
You know, but I don't find fault in people, but I'm glad that I've been an able-bodied person to be able to help myself get back to my mother. I gave back to the community. I done volunteer work over at Marie Davis. That's a senior citizen place. I volunteer there. Right now, I cut hair on Genesee. On Gratiot and Elms at the senior citizen place, but I'm not allowed in there right now because of the corona.
Yep.
I also cut hair over here on Mackinac, but right now I got to wait. So I get my total 14 customers. So I guess the employees cutting their hair, you know, but they so used to me throughout the years, you know.
Yeah, right.
And I miss them. And I cut hair real cheap. I try to give back. So I cut their hair, shave them everything for $10.
That's a good deal.
That's really like a $15, $25 job now.
That's nice of you. Thank
You
you.
know, but I have no problem giving back because I've been blessed.
Yep.
I've been in 3 serious car accidents. You know, right now I'm dealing with my mother. She have dementia. My mother's in her 80s. My grandmother had it. Now my mother have it, and I pray to God that it's not gonna come towards me.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't get you.
So in the meantime, I try to be there for my mother because we only get one.
Yep.
You only get one. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm
So
sure she's
your mom
appreciative.
still living?
No, my mom died in '82.
82.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she, you know, she only left in the flesh. Her spirit's still living because you are part of her.
Oh, okay.
Only thing left was the housing.
Yeah, I never looked
Her
at it that
spirit
way.
is not gone because this body it just houses the spirit.
Okay.
So she's not gone because you here, you're part of her, and the spirit don't die. It just sails on to smooth the seas anyway. It do not die. Only thing leave here is the flesh.
Yeah, I never
You
thought
know.
of it that way.
Yeah, that's the only way to look at this. That's the truth. Uh, spirit man do not die. You know, they say a lot of people don't believe in reincarnation, but I know I've been here before. And the reason I say that because I trace myself all the way back to my ancestors over 10,000 years ago. I'm a Moorish American, descended from Morocco, but born in America. That's my nationality. I'm a Moorish American. You know, a lot of people say they African Americans, Black Americans. The blacks don't have a flag. Every nation of people have a flag. So you got to find out who you are. You don't know who you are if you don't try to trace back your genealogy to find who you are. Because we know it's not by being told. In order for you to know, you must study. Word of mouth ain't no proof of truth. So you got to study. You know, I thank God that He blessed me with the wisdom to find out who I am, where I come from. I can share it. If another person accepts it or not, I still love them. Because I know the gift of understanding is the treasure of God. And He appointed to each and every one his own portion and what measures seem good unto himself. So like I say, in order for you to know something, you can't go by what you're being told. Man knows not by being told.
Yep.
You know, when they say knowledge is power, that's true. But you can't get knowledge if you don't study. And then when you really talking about studying, you want to know what should you study as you studying yourself, then you'll be asked again once you study self. It's a lifetime job. Today we love, the next day we hate. The next day we don't know why. It's called inconsistency. Therefore, we must guard ourselves all times against it. And how you going to guard yourself against it is to continue to study yourself. You don't have time to pull nobody else's weed. As soon as you start putting the focus on somebody else, you done took the focus off yourself.
You're right.
You know, so it's a lifetime job to study yourself.
Okay.
It ain't no accident that we met. Everything that happens in life is divinely prepared. It ain't our will that for us to meet at this point in time. It's God's will.
Now, I got to ask you this. So, what's with all this water then?
This water, it's just part of how would I say? It's just part of God's creation. It's part of His creation because everything that goes on in life, a majority of it is man. A lot of it man had to do with it also, with the dams and all that. That's why the ones that being sued in Midland, they being sued. The owner of the dam, they being sued. You know, and this is not the first time they're being sued. This is their second lawsuit, if I'm correct. But don't nothing happen without God's will.
And what about this virus?
This virus,
Yeah.
you know, I take myself back because when it comes to this virus, this is not the first time this virus occurred. It occurred in 1941 also. A lot of people think this is the first time. This is not the first time. You know, but when it first came, you always get a fair warning before destruction. So we got that. Now it's back. So hopefully we done applied our wisdom and knowledge enough to know how to fight it more better now. In the technology, and I thank God for all these first responders. They angels. They are angels. We're all angels, but they to me are super angels.
Okay.
Some of them are losing their life. The police, the firemen, the doctors, they losing their life just to save lives.
Right.
No one does that but an angel.
Yeah.
That's what
Now-
Jesus. That's what Jesus is, an angel.
Nice. We're here in Saginaw, and you got a Detroit hat. So you connected to Detroit in some way?
You said here in Saginaw, have one now?
Are you? I said we're in Saginaw, but
Uh-huh.
but you got a Detroit hat. Are you connected to Detroit in some way? You just like the hat?
Well, I used to live in Detroit also.
Where?
I used to live on the east side on Lumpkin Street. I have family on Monarch on the east side.
Okay.
My sister used to live on Tyler off of Division.
Okay.
Um, but I just look at it like this here when it comes to we talking about living wise. We all universal.
Yeah.
You know.
Hey, on that note, I got to ask you this because we're about the same age, been around the same time.
Mm-hmm.
What's your take over the years on what we've both witnessed with this racism crap?
A lot of it have to do with man, the merely ideals of man. It's the merely ideals of man. I notice how a lot of guys in my race, some of them call themselves black. I don't. I'm not black. I have a nationality, and it's Moorish American. But a lot of the so-called black, that's a label that was put up on us in 1779 and the last of 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era time now, and all men must proclaim their free national name to be recognized as a citizen, because every citizen has a flag. But as you were saying, this racism thing is a label that put up on us, and a lot of people think it's just a black and white thing. No, it's not. A lot of people think the Caucasians was really the ones that kept our people in slavery. We was in slavery when it comes to the Palestinians and all of them. I'm talking about thousands of years ago. But you know, if you don't study, you're just going by what you're being told. And a lot of times, as your race, you all are being blamed for a lot of things that you all didn't even start first. Some of your ancestors didn't even start. You know, some of your ancestors they came and they done uncruelly things, but some of our own people did. Some of our own people done enslaved our own people. And some of us are still enslaved. Because if you don't know who you are, you're still enslaved. And I'm going to tell you, mental slavery is worse than physical slavery. Mental slavery is way worse. You think because you incarcerated, and they talking about being incarcerated, a lot of it is these, how they call them, concentration camps and all that. But a lot of times you got to look at when you're locked up, it's because you place yourself there. In many cases, a lot of individuals place themselves there. I've been locked up too, but mine's only been no felon. I've been locked with speeding tickets, parking tickets, stuff like that. But other than that, you can trace me back. You'll see no felonies. I don't do harm to no one, because I know what you do. If you do harm to man, you do harm to God. What you do for man, you do for God. What you also do to man, you do to God. So you know, we got to be careful with what we even think. That's how powerful that thought is. But I want to stay on the part about, before I go, I want to stay on the part about when you say about this race thing. This race thing, it's not a black and white thing, as they say. It's not that. It's the merely ideals of man. You know, we create a lot within ourselves, and a lot of times individuals create things because they looking for their scapegoat. They're looking for their scapegoat. They don't took the focus off themselves, and instead of talking about how bad our people are starving and suffering. But as you see a lot of this going on, if you put that energy into helping people, then instead of complaining about what's going on, life would be a whole lot better. Yep. But a lot of times we burn up a lot of energy, negative energy, talking about who did this, who done that. But what are you doing to uplift? Because we're supposed to be uplifting fallen humanity. And you're not uplifting fallen humanity every time you see someone, you find a fault in them, no matter what their race is. But I'll tell you like this here, when it comes to, they say this and that about our race, then our race says so much about your race, but or other races, but it all starts with self. If man would just study himself,
gotcha.
If he would just study himself, he'll know the illusions of the world. It starts with self.
All right.
You know, so this virus thing, it has a lot to do. We're dealing with the spirit. We're dealing with the merely ideas of man. We're dealing created in their own thoughts. This virus is serious than what a minute ones think. Some think it's very serious. All the way back from 1941. And however, I put it like this virus, It has to do what it is. It's the spirit of man. It's the spirit of man. So at this time, we must guard ourselves against it. And how we got to guard ourselves against it? You got to. I didn't like wearing these masks and all that, but you know, I can remember 4.5 to 6 weeks ago when there was 3 to 6 people that had died. Now, if I'm correct, it's between 98, maybe 100, 2 or 3 dead here in Saginaw. You know, it's serious. It's very serious. What do you think about this virus?
I think it's very serious. Yeah, you know, I'm not sure where it originated from,
but what do you think the best thing? What do you think you can do to help when it comes to this virus?
Social distancing.
Thank you very much. Let me step back a little bit more.
Yeah,
but that is true.
I know.
I'll come over here and sit a lot of time, do my best to practice social distance. Then I'll come through here and I'll see someone else here. They don't know anything about these homes. I know about these homes. This home, that home, that home. And there used to be one around the corner.
Yep.
Miss Sticks, her name was Miss Sticks. She owned all these homes.
Uh-huh.
She done passed away. Her grandchildren, when they moved to Philadelphia, they just let them go. But Miss Sticks owned all of this. The man, Ramon Taco, been there for years.
Okay.
He been there for years. He didn't sell out, which is good. Now what they're finna do, they're about to build low-income homes here now.
Oh, okay.
They've been on the map to do that for the last between the last 8 to 10 years. So within the next 3 to 4 years, it's gonna be all low-income homes over here.
So you've probably went in here and looked around for any things that belong to your family, didn't you?
Yes, I done went in there and the only thing that normally is in there now is just the drywall.
Yeah. Now, where was your room in here?
My room, I always slept, the third room to the left in the back. I always slept in the back.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Was it always kind of a quiet, nice
Very
neighborhood?
quiet, very quiet.
Gotcha.
We used to have
and were there
gardens.
houses there?
Yeah, there'd be homes all over here. We had gardens, nice Spanish neighbors over here, 2 family homes, Spanish neighbors over here. Still got the Spanish people live in that house over there.
Yep.
They still there. We got
And how about across the street? What happened to these homes?
these homes here, the city tore them down.
Oh, okay.
But these homes here used to be owned by Spanish people also.
Okay.
Both families over here, that vacant lot over there used to be a big apartment house. So when they tore that down, the city held that too.
Is that house on the corner occupied?
Oh, she just died. She died about 3 months ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she was in her late 80s or early 90s.
Okay.
She was a Caucasian, very nice to the neighborhood.
Good. So everybody got along.
Got along good. Got along good.
Good.
You know,
Yep.
but as the younger generation came, you got them coming all through here, trying to break into homes and
Yep.
stuff. But we always protected each other around here. We stayed focused. If it didn't look right, we called the police.
Yep.
You know, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yep.
A lot of times they say, well, you know, all this calling the police and this and that. That's the job they're doing. We are taxpayers.
Yeah.
And it don't make sense for us to try to act like we are the police.
Yep.
You don't do that.
No.
You only do what you've been privileged. You're supposed to do what you're privileged to do.
Right.
You know, I'm not standing here with no badge. I'm not supposed to shoot nobody because they're breaking in my neighbor's house, but I'm supposed to call them and have them restrained it.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
they won't break in there again or mine.
You're right.
Or no one else's.
Now,
But,
a lot of these older homes, I like the design of them, and I noticed that little
This
window.
one is 126 years old.
126 years.
Yes.
Now that little window up there, up in the top right.
Yes.
What was there? Was that?
That little window is like it's a little closet over here, and there's a little closet on that side over there.
Gotcha.
Yep, that's the living room up here. The next room is the dining room, and the kitchen,
Okay.
and it's a bathroom all the way far back to your right, and it's a bathroom all the way far back to your right here.
Oh, okay.
Yep,
So you had fond memories.
a lot of memories, good memories.
Good memories.
Yeah,
Good
a
food.
lot of fried, a lot of chicken, a lot of fish, ate a lot of barbecue in the front yard. A lot.
Hey, speaking of barbecue, you know any place to get good barbecue around
Good
here?
barbecue, yes. Right now, where you would go now to get some, you would go. If I'm correct, they would still be open. They are open. You take this street here all the way, take Washington until you get to Genesee. You make a right turn on Genesee and go over the bridge. And once you go to the bridge and go to the railroad track, it's going to be a place called Happy Pizza.
Oh, Happy Pizza. That's good.
Happy Pizza. That's where they at.
That's good,
Yeah,
huh?
that's where they at. This your little dog there?
Yeah, it's a little dog. Yeah.
What was it? Boy or
Daisy.
girl?
Daisy. She's not exactly friendly, but you can try. Daisy's her name.
Daisy. Hey there. Social distance.
That's it. Well, I appreciate you talking to me.
Thank you so much. You're a blessing.
Thank you. Let me turn this camera off. And,
All right, all right.
hold on,
I
I'm
just
gonna
like
keep my
to say
phone.
one thing. Let me get one more picture.
All right. All right.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you. It was great meeting
May
you.
God bless you and your family.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.